Hi there, everybody. I'm Prashant Kumar. Anyway, we are discussing about 10th standard social science. Today, let us take the new topic international institutions. So, I divided this topic into three parts. So, beginning, establishment of institutions and its organs. Let us discuss today. In the 20th century, the world observed two big wars, world wars. First World War and Second World War. From 1914 to 1919, the First World War was fought, and 1939 to 1945, Second World War. After the First World War, to stop the future wars, the League of Nations was established. But this League of Nations got a big failure as a result because of the expansionist policy of Hitler and Mussolini, etc. The Second World War was fought. So after the Second World War, some leaders of the world, they thought we have to establish such institution, such an organization which should stop the future wars, which is very dangerous for the human life on earth. Not only human life, all the life. So the people who are responsible for the establishment of this UNO, United Nations Organization, as a result of these three great leaders, United Nations Organization was established. They are Winston Churchill of United Kingdom, Joseph Stalin of USSR, and F.D. Roosevelt of United States of America. So like this, these three people, they were the initiators for the establishment of this UNO. Well, 26 nations, they participated in January 1st, 1945 in a conference. There they forwarded this proposal, and on 26th June 1945, 51 nations signed the Conference of UNO in San Francisco. So as a result, United Nations Organization was established on 24th October 1945. So at that time there were 51 members, but present 193 members. This UN Charter is the main document of the global organization, and it has 19 chapters and 111 articles in it. It begins with the sentence, "We the people of world community." How Indian constitution begins with "We the people of India." Like that, "We the people of world community" starts like that. And now we have to see what are the aims of this UNO. So mainly, UNO aimed at safeguarding international peace and security. The main aim that one. Fostering cooperation among nations. Improving the faith in human rights. Exploring solutions to economic, sociological, cultural, and other humanity-based problems with cooperation. Because humanity-based cooperation, a very important one, especially because of economic problems, sociological problems, cultural problems, some clash common. And the people, those who are suffering, they will support the leaders, those who are, they are not thinking about whether they are right or wrong, like that Hitler and Mussolini developed. To avoid that, a solution they want to find. Providing recognition to international agreements and conditions. Then, trying to build mutual trust and cooperation among the countries. So totally, mutual help and cooperation, very important one. Maintaining world peace is the main aim of this United Nations organization. Next, United Nations affiliated bodies, its organs. They are like this, total 6 organs are there: General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Committee, Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice, and Secretariat. So let us discuss each. First, let us discuss about General Assembly. General Assembly consists of representatives from all the states, all the member states. 193 means all the from 193 states members will be there. And It is called as the Parliament of UNO or Global Parliament. All the members are there. So in the Parliament, all the MPs are there. Like that, here all the members of the member countries, representatives from member countries will be there. And every country has a right to send 5 representatives. But one country has only one vote at the time of election. Okay? And elects one of its members as the president for the year. For the term of 1 year, they elect one member, its member, as the president. And elects 17 vice presidents and 7 chairpersons for the permanent committee. Some committees are there. For that, they will select the chairpersons and vice presidents. Its meetings begin around September until it ends in mid-December. Every September it is having the meeting. For all important matters of approval, 2/3 majority is compulsory. You need 2/3 majority for approval of anything, any matter. General budget is approved in it. The budget of the UNO is approved by General Assembly. So this is about General Assembly. Next we have to discuss about Security Council. Very important body. It is called as the Cabinet of UNO. It's like the cabinet. And total 15 members are there. In that 5 permanent members and 10 temporary members. Okay. And permanent members are France, USA, UK, Russia and China. USA, UK, France, Russia and China are the permanent members. And temporary members, 10 members are elected by the General Assembly for the term of 2 years. For every 2 years it will change. These permanent members, USA, UK, France, Russia and China, they have veto power. What is veto power? This veto power is a power or the right of these permanent members of Security Council to stop the matter to become decision. Out of 193 countries, all 192 countries agreed. But one of the 5 members of permanent members not agreed. So it will not become decision. So there is a veto power. So many matters will not come to decision. It tries to solve global problems peacefully, deploying UN peacekeeping force to maintain peace and order. It selects the judges of International Court of Justice and also suggests the nomination of Secretary General. So these are the functions of this. So this is about Security Council. Next, let us move to Economic and Social Council. The name itself says that it's Economic and Social Council. It has 54 members. 18 members are elected once in every 3 years, like in India, upper house is, Rajya Sabha, like that. 1/3 of the members. Yeah, 18 3 is 54. Once in 3 years. Then upper house 2 years. Now here 18 members are elected for the term of 3 years. For every 3 years, 18 members. Total 54 members. Conducting studies. What are the main functions of this committee's function? Conducting studies on economic, social, cultural, education, health and sharing the report. They will conduct studies on these economic matters, social matters, cultural, education, health matters. They will study in different countries, not only in one country. Whatever the problem, they will give the report about that. Depending on the report, UNO will take decision. Issues like refugee problems, women's status, residence, etc. come under this. So in any country they have refugee problem or problems for women, residents, etc. So all these problems they will try to solve it. Yeah, they will report that onto UNO, then finally UNO try to solve this. Recommends on issues of human rights and basic freedom. It's very important one. They will recommend the free human rights. And human rights should be given to everyone in all the countries. So then only there is a value for human life. Otherwise, some countries they treat some group as slaves. It should not be. By that, many problems will be created. So, and organizing conferences on human resources, culture, education, etc. So some conferences will be arranged by this committee on human resource, culture and education. By that what happens, it is possible to spread everywhere. Yeah, exposure will be get. And coordinating the functions of specialized bodies like ILO, FAO and WHO. So here International Labour Organization, Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Health Organization. So between these, some specialized agencies are there. Between that, coordination is very important one. Without coordination, so it is my work, it is their work, I don't want to touch that, etc. It should not happen. Coordination between the departments very important one. So here specialized bodies, between that coordination will be maintained by this Economic and Social Council. So this is about the functions of Economic and Social Council. Okay. So next we have to move to Trusteeship Council. Trusteeship Council in the beginning, after the Second World War, it had more work. It is a sub-organization of General Assembly, and in the beginning, war-torn nations were there. To develop those nations, hardly affected by the wars. So such countries should be developed. For the Trusteeship Council necessary. At the time, they worked hard, but now its importance decreased because as areas depending on trusteeship have got reduced, most of the countries they became self-sufficient, self-independent. Its importance has also got reduced. This has become inactive now as there is no trustee left. No trustee left now, so its importance reduced. Okay, this trusteeship council. Next, International Court of Justice. Problems common between the countries. Problem comes at that time, court necessary, judges necessary. In the International Court of Justice, it has 15 judges and each has a 9 years term. Its headquarters is in Hague of Netherlands. The judges judges elect one president and one vice president among themselves for a period of 3 years. Then alternatively it will come. Yeah, and the decisions are taken on basis of majority. Total 15 judges are there, majority. Okay, and they also provide legal consultation for any country, any member countries, if they need. No country is compulsorily bound by the judgment. So here they can't do any compulsion on the countries because each country is independent. They will try to solve the problems. They will give the judgment by studying that, and they will say that you have to do this, you have to follow this, but they can't compel that because each country is independent. To avoid the much clash, they will do this. Okay, this is about International Court of Justice. Next, we have to discuss about Secretariat. The General Secretary is the head of the executive body of UNO. General Secretary is a very important person, the head of this General UNO. He is elected by General Assembly for a period of 5 years as per the suggestions of Security Council. Security Council nominate the person. As per the suggestion of it, in the General Assembly, election will be conducted. Each country have one vote, and finally one person will be selected as the Secretary General of UNO. Its central office is in New York. Branch office in Geneva, Vienna, and Nairobi. The day-to-day administration of the UNO and institutional functions are run by the Secretariat. So this is about the Secretariat. So these are the main organs of UNO, and the present Secretary General of this UNO was Antonio Guterres. So 2017 he was elected. He was from Portugal. Okay, so this is about the UNO's first part, and let me come to you with the achievements of UNO and various organizations under UNO in the next video. Thank you very much.